Well, hello everybody. I think I had two people waiting to get into chat. I'm waiting for my screen to pop up here. I tried to fix it so I could read chat behind me here. And this light is terrible. It's coming in this back door and it's just putting like a haze on everything. And I don't know of any way to stop it. I don't know if putting a towel or anything up here would help. I don't know if it would even stay. Let's see. It might work. It might help a little, I don't know. Yeah, that helps a tiny bit, I guess. But as you can see, we're going to fix something really good today. With y'all's help, I'm going to fix something good. I hate going live like this because when I'm busy doing stuff, I can't see the chat. Let me get the live chat up here. Well, I've got Joshua in chat. Hi, Joshua. How's Joshua doing? I really need the chat closer to me. See if I can get it over here. That would work a lot better because I'll be able to see who's in chat and who's not. How are you doing, Joshua? You doing fine? Well, I'm doing fine. I just decided to go live today to try it. I don't know how much more I'm going to go live and do things this way. But I got Charlene Walmart. What is it? Charlene. Let me see what her name was. It was Charlene, I know. Yeah, Charlene Walmart. I got her Halloween plaque sent to her this week. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to take to get to Canada. Canada's a long way. And then a lot of times they sit in customs for a long time before they deliver it. You know, they do whatever they do in customs with any package. But it's going to Winlaw, British Columbia, Canada. So that's a pretty good ways off. I know the last time I sent anything to Canada, it took like 3 or 4 weeks for it to ever get there. So I'm not sure how long it's going to take this to get there. So we'll see. I was going to try to wait for a few people to get in before we got started, but... And I did give at least a 30-minute notice, you know, so people, if they have their notifications on, they were notified that I was going live today. But we are making something good. You could see that in the picture, the thumbnail on the live that I showed. So first of all, I've got to preheat my oven to 350. And I've just got a regular chocolate brownie mix here that I'm going to use. And we're going to mix that up and put it in my pan that's already greased. First. But then we've got to do the rest of it because it's not going to be finished then. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good, Joshua. I got to get into my packaging here. to go ahead and mix this up in the mixer, because I've got two different things to mix up. Okay, we have 2 tablespoons of water. I don't know why it's just 2 tablespoons of water. That's kind of weird, but that's what they say. A half cup of vegetable oil, and I'm going to use olive oil. That's usually what I always use. I did finally go buy me a new one because I was basically out. And you ought to know my little ring broke, y'all. How am I going to get my ring out? Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to get a pair of pliers to hold on to it. I broke the little ring. It's like one little cord popped up there and I can't hold on to it with my fingers. Oh, and then the other part broke off. How am I going to get my olive oil open, y'all? I've never had this happen before. I'll have to get another knife and pop it open, I guess. That's all I know to do. Have y'all ever had a olive oil ring to do that to you before? I've never had that happen to me. Now let's see if I can pull it out. I have never in my life had this happen with an olive oil bottle where you couldn't get the tab pulled. It broke off. My goodness. Now, that's crazy. That is totally crazy, y'all. Now, let's see how much we needed. A half a cup of vegetable oil. That's a half a cup. And we need 2 eggs. It took me forever to get everything set up because I had to put a drop cord to my mixer to be able to use it on the table. Doesn't take too much mixing. And I'll have to get this off to clean it because I'll have to use it again. Because we're going to mix something else up in here. But this is real easy, and I was hoping Gladys would be watching so she could have her boys make it for her, because it's real easy. I've already got my pan greased here, so I'm just going to add my brownie mix to my pan. Now I'm using like a 8 by 8 inch pan or 9 by 9 inch pan. You can use either one of those, or you can use a 9 by 13 pan. It's just totally up to you. Joshua, you can get your dad to make you one of these. I'll have to wash my bowl because I'm going to need to use it again. There, I don't know if you can see that, but I got my brownie mix in my baking dish. Like I said, I had to wash this out because I've got to use it for my other, what I'm getting ready to mix up. So we're done with the brownie part of it. And I'm getting oil everywhere, water everywhere. See who we got in here. We got Tamara. Hello, Tamara. Linda Foster. Well, we got a few people in here. I got 21 watching, and looks like about 3 in chat. Like I was telling Joshua, I got Charlene's Halloween plaque sent to her this week. But it goes to Canada, British Columbia, Canada. So it'll take probably 3 or 4 weeks for her to ever get it, if not longer than that. But first of all, what we're going to do with this, we got a block of cream cheese. And I already had put it in the microwave to kind of soften it. I put it on defrost. That's a low setting, and you can kind of melt butter and stuff like that in there. Now I'm gonna have to read the instructions for this part because I don't know what goes in there. Okay, we have butter, cream cheese, butter. Let's see how much butter. 5 tablespoons of butter. And I'm going to measure with a different tablespoon, because that's probably 2 tablespoons. 4. And there's 5. Now you need the cream cheese, a 1/2 cup of white sugar, which I got right there, 2 eggs. Where is my, oh, here it is. I got stuff right in front of me and I'm losing it all, y'all. Have any of you made a raspberry delight before? Yeah, it's starting to get cooler here at night, Joshua. So that means it's like in the high 80s during the day instead of the 90s, like it has been. Okay, we need flour and vanilla. 2 tablespoons of flour. I can probably use this measuring thing if I can get it dry because I had water in it. Now we need, how much vanilla? 3/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla. That's not much. Let's see. There's a half. Okay, we got our cream cheese, our eggs, our sugar, flour, vanilla. And we got to just mix this up. I got to get my beater in there. Dry this off a little bit. Now we're just gonna blend in that cream cheese with the butter and the sugar and the vanilla and the eggs. It'll take it a minute. Chocolate delight is similar to chocolate pie, only much better. Well, this is a raspberry. And I got little buddy at the door. Oh my goodness. Can I ever do a video without the cat scratching at the door? Let me get them something before they go crazy at the door. See, that's the thing about doing a live is you can't, it's kind of hard to do a live when you got animals that want to be fed when they hear you talking. Or a lot of stuff going on, you know. Because they demand attention. That's all there is to it. They want attention. They don't care what you're doing. Don't know if I've got this mixed up enough. Well, it doesn't say, but but now I'm hoping you can see. You can see my pan down here. I'm just going to spoonfuls of this cream cheese mixture right over the top of this. And I don't know why they say spoon it on, because you're going to marble it anyway. Could just pour it on and be done with it. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pour it on there. Because it's all got to go on there anyway. So what's the difference? Now, they say with a knife, just go through and, you know how you marbleize something, just cut it around and around. So you don't want it completely mixed, but you want it somewhat mixed. Marbled, as they say. And I think that's going to be good enough. Now is where the fun part comes in. I've got a jar of Great Value red raspberry preserves. Now you can use like a pie filling, you know, anything of that nature. And I'm just going to kind of spoon that on here. I don't want it in too big of globs on there, but I think it's going to be good. Now, I know of people that use like blueberry pie filling. They use cherry pie filling. Pretty much anything like that as a topping. Or you can even use strawberry preserves rather than the raspberry. But I think the raspberry is going to be really good with the cream cheese and the chocolate. And this is supposed to be spread all over the top. And it's kind of hard to spread it because it's like Jello. I mean, it's kind of firm. It's not real loose raspberry preserves. So it doesn't spread very easily. That's why I'm breaking it up in the spoon with my finger. But it's going to be good no matter how it looks or how I get it in there. It's going to be good. Now you can put anywhere from a whole jar to a half a jar. If you're using like cherry pie filling or blueberry pie filling, you can use the whole can if you want. It's just up to you, but I'm not putting the whole jar of these preserves in here. I think half a jar is going to be plenty. Because I think that's going to be sweetness enough. Now, after we get that done, we're going to bake it 50 to 60 minutes at 350 degrees. That's another reason I don't like to go live doing this. Because now we got to wait. And you know what? I was about to forget to put my pan under there just in case. I always like to be on the safe side, just in case it was to boil over. I don't want it in my oven. I'd rather it go in the pan. Now, I'm going to set my trusty timer. For 55 minutes. So, we can sit and chat while that's going on. Let me get my computer down here so I can see the chat. I had it sitting up on a box. Oh, what's going on? Gladys said something about, oh, I'm so sorry, my friend. Guess I hit my head on a cinder block and earned 7. When did that happen, Tamara? Oh my goodness. I missed all of this. You fell in your barn? some grab bars on your barn today. Hopefully I'll avoid another fall. And staples if we get ice. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry to hear that, Tamara. We got Shatika and Frida, Donna. Tamara, you need to be careful. Oh my goodness. That had to be a heck of a fall to injure yourself enough to have 7 staples. Oh my gosh. You hit your head on a cinder block and earned 7 staples. You could have knocked yourself out, girl. That's a concussion. Oh my goodness. Gladys, I don't know when you came in. I was so busy. But this recipe, it takes an hour to cook it basically after you get it all mixed up. But it's so easy to do. I said I hope that Gladys was watching so she could have her boys watch it sometime and they could fix this for you, because I think you would really like it. I mean, anything to do with brownies is good, right? But when you put cream cheese and raspberries and other stuff with brownies, you know that's got to be good. Oh, you fell last February? Well, still, you know, hey. I'm sorry to hear you fell even in February. I mean, like I said, I missed so much of the chat because I was busy fixing all this that I just happened to stop to see where you earned yourself 7 staples. I said, oh my God. I thought you just got hurt. You know, like with me, it's like opening my cabinet doors and trying to get bowls and plates out of the cabinet because they're so high up. I'm so short that I'm always pulling plates or bowls out and they're popping me in the nose. This last time it did turn a little black and blue, but not much. I hope I don't hit it again. I mean, my poor nose catches everything when I'm trying to get stuff out of the cabinets. How's Frida doing today? Got 23 watching. That's not bad since I haven't been going live every Sunday. It's got to the place where if I don't do something really good during the live, they lower what YouTube pays you for doing the live. And I hate that because, you know, I work hard on my videos and then to check the pay scale some days and see that my pay scale is way down just because I went live is ridiculous. Because the advertisers, they advertise on your live regardless. It doesn't matter. You'll watch the replay later with the boys? Okay. I can get some of this stuff put up now, though. Get it off the table. I don't know, I had 1 extra egg. It said in the recipe for 3 eggs, but then when it told you to add them, it said 2. So I'll put this one back in the refrigerator. I'll have it for breakfast or something. I can put the rest of that stuff up later. I got my little timer in front of me. Just in case it doesn't go off, I can at least see the number, and I can see that it should be stopping, and even if it doesn't kind of alert me. Tamara says, I'm glad you went live while I was awake. I missed you. Well, thank you, Tamara. I missed all of you, too. I was hoping Charlene would get in here, because I haven't chatted with her since I mailed her Halloween plaque. Yeah, it takes 3, 4, sometimes 5 weeks to get anything to Canada. So she's probably not going to get it by Halloween. But she said she didn't care. She'd never won anything in her life. And it was just a treat for her to win anything. So I had to send it to her. Just regular mail wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was a little over $17 to mail it, which is bad enough. How's Anthony? I don't know. I haven't chatted with Anthony. And there's Candy Cane. Hi there. Yeah, I haven't chatted with Anthony since y'all have, so. He sent me that email that had the little song that he did the words for it, for me, which I thought was so cute. So he emailed me a copy of the song. Really, Joshua, I didn't know all that. But we'll have to entertain ourselves while the Raspberry Delight's cooking. Yeah, she was just tickled to death that she won, because she said she'd never won anything in her life before. And I said, well, if she doesn't get it for Halloween this year, she can put it up and she'll have it to go with decorations for next year, I guess. Frida says song. Yeah, he's got a program that he goes to, and he can put words to songs with, and that mixes the music in with it, so you can do your own song. And he did one about me, using my name in it, which I thought was so cute. I don't remember seeing The Princess and the Princesses, Joshua. Goodness. I guess you saw that short video that I posted yesterday about the rain we got. Oh, I was so tickled to death over getting that little bit of rain yesterday. First rain we've had probably in 2 months or more. I said my garden really needed it. Yeah, I know, Joshua. I wish you could see it too. Yeah, it did for a little while. It really soaked the ground, which we needed it. I mean, my yard was dry as a bone. You saw how brown the grass was. I mean, there was no grass, weeds, or anything growing in the yard. The only thing that was barely green or alive was what I had in my pots and raised beds. But we don't have any more rain forecasted for a week or two or more now. So it's going to be getting dry again. Sometimes we don't even get a good rain until Halloween. I mean, I remember there's been a lot of Octobers that it would get dry like it's been, and it would not rain until Halloween. Halloween day and night, it would just pour down rain, and it would get cold, and you'd have ice. And then the next day or so, it would be back up in the 80s. But yeah, our first freeze is usually like the first or second week in November. Once in a while, we might see a little bit of ice if it rains and it gets pretty cool on Halloween. The songs from Sleeping Beauty. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I remember hearing a bunch of songs in Sleeping Beauty, but I don't remember them. Definitely don't know the words to them, that's for sure. You think Lincoln knows the whole song? I have no idea. Yeah, I love going live, but it's just the fact, usually when I go live, YouTube drops the pay for my videos. And I don't know why they do that, because advertisers still advertise on your lives just like they do a regular video. You know the first part of it, Joshua? Well, that's better than me, because I don't know any of it. I get raccoons up here at my house once in a while. I get raccoons. I have one that comes on the front porch at night, and he'll eat whatever cat food the cats leave in their bowl. Because I've caught him out there several times. And the cats at first would growl and hiss at him, and that would alarm me that there was something out there, and I'd go look, and he'd be right there with them. And, you could tell where he'd been eating their cat food. And now they're so used to him coming up, they don't even growl at him anymore. They just stand there and watch him eat. Because I heard something going on out there. They weren't growling or hissing at him or anything. But I went there and I looked out the window of the door, and there was the raccoon eating the cat food, and the cats were just right there watching him. It's like, okay, well, good for that. I mean, you could have let me know he was out there. I mean, I guess their stomachs were full. They didn't care if he ate it or not. But almost every morning I go out there to get their bowls to feed them, and those bowls have been licked clean. And I know the cats didn't do that. Because usually they don't eat everything I put in the bowl. It's too much for them. But that raccoon will come down here and eat it. I tried to get a picture of him one night, and the minute I opened the door, it spooked him, and he took off and went up the tree. So it was hard to get him in a video. I get raccoons, possum, skunks, armadillos, you name it that comes here in my yard. I've even seen prairie dogs close around here. I haven't seen one in a while because of so much traffic now, because they're building so many homes. But I still get the skunks, the possums, and the raccoons. Donna said, she said, we got 2 outdoor cats and 6 or 7 raccoons eat their food. I know, they come right up to my front porch. The last time I saw him out there, I opened the door. He just stood there and looked up at me, and the cats were on either side of me, and they were looking too. I said, what a sight. I said, he's so used to coming up there eating, he's not even afraid of me opening the door. He just stood there and looked at me like, well, I'm eating too, you know. Yeah, I guess the cats are cool with it. So how's everybody's day been today? I've had a lazy day. I had a restless night, so I slept in a little bit this morning and then kind of dragged around most of the day. No, I have not heard of Princess Tiana. And there's Janice Sky. Hello, Janice. Welcome. Yeah, I sent Charlene an email after I mailed the plaque to her, and I told her I had gotten it in the mail that morning, but it'd probably take several weeks for her to ever get it. No telling how long it'll sit in customs in Canada. Oh yeah, I know. Raccoons, armadillos, possum, all that can have rabies. So I don't mess with them. I used to have armadillos that would come in the yard, and you'd go out there in your front yard the next morning, and it looked like hogs rooting around in your yard because they rooted up the dirt. And what they do is they take that snout they got, and they dig up the real young blades of grass that start growing. I mean, they love eating those because they're real tender. So they'll root up your whole yard, getting those little bitty blades of grass that have just sprouted up. Oh, I made some at Christmas last year, the peanut butter fudge. It's really good. You made peanut butter fudge today? It's good. I mean, like I said, I made some last Christmas, and I took it over to my sons, and my granddaughter tried it. My son tried some. They weren't going to eat it at first. They're like, peanut butter fudge, you know? I said, try it. It's really good. And my granddaughter tried it, and you could tell by the expression on her face that she thought, yeah, it was pretty good. Okay, Dylan, what's your dad doing? What's he up to right now? How come I've never heard of Moana? I don't know who that is, Joshua. I don't keep up with all the Disney characters and stuff anymore. I used to keep up with them more when my kids were little. But now my kids have kids, so I don't keep up with a lot of the Disney stuff. Oh, he's been down sick. Oh my goodness, what's been wrong? I hope he doesn't have COVID or something. Well, Tamara might know who that is, Joshua. I don't. Sorry, but I don't know. We got about 33 more minutes on our Raspberry Delight. It's been in there about half the time. Thank you, Gladys. Yeah, my son told me one time, well, Mama, you get run out of things to do to make a video of, just go live. I said, well, I've done that several times, but I said, YouTube has gotten to where they cut your pay when you go live. And I don't know why they do that. I mean, YouTube pays what the companies are willing to pay to advertise on your videos is what it is, but you'll see I got it in the oven, Wong Wing. It's a brownie with a cream cheese and raspberry preserves. It's going to be really good. Oh my goodness, Dylan, was your dad in the hospital? I didn't know he was in the hospital. Linda Foster was asking if your dad was still in the hospital. I didn't know your dad was in the hospital, Dylan. You mean to tell me he was sick enough that he was in the hospital? I remember the last live we had, he wasn't feeling good. Yeah, we got the Raspberry Delight in the oven baking right now. I've got my timer set. We got about 30 more minutes before it's going to be done. Yeah, since it's cooled off a little bit, I don't mind baking stuff now. That's the reason I made the casserole the other day, and Today I'm making the brownie delight because it's not 100 degrees outside, so I don't know what the temperature is. 75 degrees outside right now, so that's a comfortable temperature. I mean, I'd love it if it just stayed 75 year round. But then I know the bugs wouldn't be killed, by the freezing temperatures, and there's a lot of stuff takes place with the cold temperatures that wouldn't come about if we were 75 degrees all year long. We'd be like Hawaii. We'd have roaches big as horses. Well, I haven't seen Dylan respond if his dad was still in the hospital or not. Who knows anything about him being in the hospital? I didn't know he was in the hospital. Yes, he is the chicken. See, normally if I'm doing a video, I would cut all this section out of the video completely and go right to the point where I'm taking my Raspberry Delight out of the oven because it's baked already. But when you go live, you can't do that. You can't stop the video and say, y'all just wait a minute. Oh, you have to go, Kwang Wing. Well, I'm glad you stopped by. You have a great evening and a blessed day tomorrow. We've got about 28 minutes left on our Raspberry Delights. Got to bake some more. You love me live. I need to do laundry too, Tamara. I haven't done laundry this weekend. I usually do laundry on Thursday or Friday. I didn't do it this week. I was late doing it last week. That's why. So it put me off a few days this weekend. So I'll probably wash a couple of loads of laundry Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of this coming week. Yeah, if y'all can stick around for about another 25 more minutes, we can take our Raspberry Delight out of the oven. I've been wondering what to do for Christmas. I don't know. Because, once Halloween's over, it just seems like Christmas is a week away. I mean, it's almost like Thanksgiving is not even there. I have to do laundry tomorrow. Oh, go commando. Well, I usually do laundry about once a week because I'll wait till I get a full load before I even put anything in the washer. I have enough shorts and things that'll last me from one wash to the other. And then I got enough bath towels and stuff like that, sheets. So, I make it count every time I turn that washer on. It'll be full of laundry. It's not going to have a half a load or just a couple of pieces of laundry in there. Because I can't adjust the water level on mine like some people do. And sometimes I think people actually use more water that can regulate their water level because they're washing clothes more. I bet you do, Gladys. I know you do. Oh, I'm going to check on my... It's still soupy, y'all. Oh, there's Country Cutie. Hello, and Vegan Menu. Welcome. Merriweather is a blue fairy in Sleeping Beauty. How's Country Cutie today and Vegan Menu? What have y'all been up to since we chatted with you last? You just got off work. I'm going to put this down a little bit. My beautiful curtain back there. My towel only covered up part of the door. Big Bongo, I would love some Raspberry Delight and to deport all the blacks from back to Africa. Howdy, Linda. Oh well, I don't know about that statement. Country Cutie's going camping on Halloween weekend, so ready for some fun. Just be safe. There's some weird stuff goes on Halloween. I don't know if I'd want to be camping out on Halloween or not. There's too many goblins and creatures and everything else roaming around. The Vegan Menu says the Raspberry Delight are like oatmeal bars or It's another form of dessert. Right. It's a brownie basically with cream cheese topping and raspberry. I put raspberry preserves on mine. You're camping with friends. It's gonna be good. Just like the picture on the thumbnail. Only thing is, you can't cut it till it completely cools, which takes a pretty good while. So I doubt I'll be cutting it on the live. It won't be cooling time. I don't know who leads the Starlight Parade, Joshua. Pinocchio's blue fairy is who turned him into a living boy. Merryweather was with Flora and Fauna in Sleeping Beauty. Sure, give us a riddle, Gladys. I'll probably not be able to answer it, but go ahead. Tamara's ready. It's 75 degrees here, Country Cutie. I mean, it's cooled off a little bit in Texas, not a whole lot. It gets cooler at night. It's in the 50s at night. It's 75 right now, which seems good. You know, it's a good change. I have 5 fingers, but I'm not alive. What am I? 5 fingers. Good Lord, I don't have any idea. The only thing I can think of is a hand with 5 fingers, but your hand hopefully is alive. 5 fingers, but I'm not alive. What am I? A glove. I didn't even think of that, dumb me, you know. It's got to be a glove. That's the only thing that's got 5 fingers on it that's not alive. And I wasn't even thinking. My brain's asleep, I guess. Like we got about 14 more minutes. I don't know if it's going to be done in 14 minutes because it looks awfully still wet in there. It's cooking, but what they said put in there, I don't know. It came out awfully wet. I run all day and night, but I cannot walk. What am I? A clock? Would have to be a clock. I mean, there's a lot of things that run all day and night, but the clock is the most reasonable answer, I would think. Oh, it's a refrigerator. Well, I was going to say there's things like AC units, refrigerators, heaters in the wintertime that run day and night. But my best answer for that would be a clock. But it's probably not correct. A river. Who would have thought? I think that was asked one other time in one other live, and I forgot what the answer was. Yeah, my refrigerator runs nonstop. It runs in place, though. Okay, Country Cutie, you have a good night, a blessed day tomorrow. Thanks for stopping in. See you next time. What has a lot of teeth and can't open a door? That could be a lot of four-legged critters. The first thing that came to my mind is the alligator, because I saw some little cute little video of one the other day where he come up on the front porch and the little boy on the porch climbed on his back and was riding him around the porch. Keys, I mean. What has a lot of keys and can't open a door? Would be a piano. Would have to be a piano or well, a comb don't have keys, but a piano has keys is what they call them, or an organ, keyboard. Piano has keys, yeah. That's what I thought it was. It would be the piano. And it definitely can't open a door. Piano, yes, you're right. Well, it's about time I got something right. I'm like Charlene, I don't ever win anything. I don't usually get anything right. Oh, me. You know, these little pads are the most handiest things I've had. I use them for hot pads. You know, when I take something out of the oven, I put them on it to keep from burning the table or the counter. And one of my subscribers made these for me and sent them to me. She made two, and I usually sometimes put them together, and if I need two, then I separate them and just use one. But they come in real handy. Well, thank you, Donna. Oh, me. I've got so much to do out in the yard, it's unreal. I need to rake. I've got so many leaves fell. I need to rake leaves and get them in the compost pile. Some of the pots I need to start getting ready for spring. I pretty soon need to put the covers on my strawberry beds. You know, I got 2 strawberry beds out there. And I've got like greenhouse covers that go on the top of them that I'm going to put over them for when it gets freezing cold weather. And hopefully that'll get them through till spring. And I think all the little starts that I put in the pots have went dormant. But I'm not bothering. I'm leaving them right there, and I'll make sure that I water them every once in a while just to keep the dirt moist, not wet. And hopefully in the spring they'll start coming back out, and I'll have more strawberry plants. But I've still got a bunch in the strawberry beds, you know, the like the runners that have already rooting around in the top of the bed. Yeah, they shine pretty bright at night. I was kind of disappointed with the little man though. I mean, even though his light burns pretty bright, it doesn't show him off at night. I mean, you can see him from like the waist down part of him, but you can't really see him. It doesn't like light him up. Yeah, I do too. I mean, I've been working hard on my strawberry plants, and I hope they winter well and come back next spring. I mean, I put a lot into them, you know, getting those 2 raised beds done and then planting strawberries in both of them. I don't know, the instructions say 55 to 60 minutes. But I think it's going to take longer than that to cook this thing because it was awfully wet. All that cream cheese and butter and all that good stuff in there. Oh no, your walking onions never decided to take a walk. You mean they didn't grow for you? I mean, they will not do their walking until spring. Like if you planted them this summer, it'll be springtime before they ever walk. That's the reason I say when you first plant your Egyptian walking onions, try not to eat them right away. I mean, you can, you know, you can cut the tops out of them and eat the green tops in the beginning. But when it gets close to springtime, let the green tops grow so they'll walk and produce you more bulbs that you can plant more onions before you start eating what onions you planted. Oh my God, I've started, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got about 7 more pots of Egyptian walking onions that I planted this year. And I've started pulling the very first ones that I planted like a year or 2 ago. I've been steadily pulling them. I refuse to buy onions. I'm steadily pulling my walking onions, and I'm starting to eat those instead of buying more onions. Instead of buying the white or yellow onions, I'm eating the Egyptian walking onions because I've got so many of them, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it'll take till springtime when they start growing in the spring because they kind of almost like go dormant in the winter. In the freezing cold weather, they kind of die back a little bit. You'll almost think they're dying, but they're not. So just leave them there. And in the springtime, when they start really growing good, that's when they start producing those little tubers with the little onions inside, and they gradually work all the way up the stem of the onion. And then they burst open at the top, and you got a clump of little baby onions at the top that you can replant. But yeah, it'll take till springtime for them to do that. So don't worry if they're not doing it now because it like I said, it takes them till springtime. That's the reason I said go ahead and plant them now. And then by spring they'll be walking. That has got to cook some more. There's no way. it in there for another 10 minutes or so because it's still kind of jiggly. What's cooking? I'm fixing the raspberry delight. That's what I call it because it's brownie with cream cheese topping, and then it's covered with raspberry preserves on top. But it seemed like it was too watery when I mixed it, but I mixed it right by the directions. But it seemed like it come out too watery. Because it says to bake 50 to 60 minutes or until toothpick comes out clean. Cool completely before serving. There's no way a toothpick's coming out of that clean. It's too watery still. Yeah, it's going to be good. Good and fattening. But I don't fix too many fattening things that I eat, so I guess I can fix a raspberry delight occasionally. It'll probably be another year or so before I make another one. What's Donna been up to? Yeah, right. That's what I figure. As old as I am, I'm going to eat and be happy. I still do try to watch what I eat. I mean, I don't try to overindulge, but I feel like at my age, what the heck, you know? I don't think anybody really cares but me, so. It's sure smelling good, I'll tell you. It smells really good in my kitchen right now. But it just seems to me like it can't, even the brownies was too watery, but I mixed it just the way the box said. I may not have beat up the cream cheese with eggs and stuff mixture enough. But oh well. It'll still be good. I'm pretty sure it'll still be good. Have any of you heard of peanut butter onions before? I mean, I read the recipe of those when I was doing research on depression cooking. And I said, who would have thought to fill an onion with peanut butter? And then you bake it until that onion is like almost caramelized. And they say it's really good. And that's a Depression era recipe. They said sometimes they mix the peanut butter with cracker crumbs or something to give it a little bit of texture. And then they put it in an onion. They can hollow out just a little bit of the onion and then put a spoonful or so of peanut butter down in the onion and then bake it. It doesn't sound good, but they say it is. I said, man, I'm going to have to try this. I'll try it with one onion maybe. A little onion one day when I have to bake something else. I mean, if I'd have thought of it, I'd done it today. But I didn't think of it because I've got the oven going. Yeah, I usually do a pumpkin pie every year. They are good, Tamara, the slug burger. You know, during the Depression, back in, what was it, 1930s, I think, around that era, you know, there was two depressions. We had the Great Depression back many years, several years before that. And then we had another depression that hit around 1930, 1925, somewhere along in there. About the time when my grandparents first got married, that lived in New York. They were going through a depression. And that's when those onions came about. All those cooks, they got really inventive with recipes. And I guess they just went through trial and error. And if it was good, they kept it. And if it was not, they didn't tell anybody about it, you know. But when I first read that recipe for peanut butter onions, I said, you got to be kidding me. You know, like I said, if I'd have thought about it today, I'd have fixed one little onion and I'd have put it in a pan and cooked it while my raspberry delight was cooking. But I didn't think about it. Maybe next time, because I don't have enough time now to put it in there. Yeah, my grandparents were married in 1925. But you know, before that, way back, like in the late 1800s, 1888, 1889, they had a big depression then too. A lot of people don't realize that, but they did have a depression before the one that started in 1929 to 1939. It was back in the late 1800s they had a really bad depression. And then things got better. And then we went back into the Great Depression in 1929 to 1939. My grandparents got married in 1925 in New York. I don't remember the year my mom was born. But from 1929 to 1939 is when people had to have like food stamps or coupons. They had to have so many points of these coupons to take in a store and buy a dozen eggs, or to buy a bag of sugar, or a bag of coffee, or flour. If you didn't have those coupons, you couldn't get it. So they got really creative with what food they had available. Just like the water pie, you know, I did a video on one time. Man, when I read about that, I said, I can't believe they actually came up with a water pie. But it was pretty good. It was kind of ridiculous, but it was pretty good. And then I read another one. It's a vinegar pie. The main ingredient is vinegar. I thought to myself, I don't know if I want to try that one. But I do want to try the onion. I want to try the peanut butter onion. Because they say that, you know, when an onion caramelizes, it doesn't have that strong onion vibe that it does when you try to cut an onion and your eyes are burning and all that. When it's caramelized, it's pretty good. And then to have peanut butter cooked on it, I bet it is good. Yeah, they had to be creative with their cooking. And I want to try their chocolate pie or chocolate cake. I don't remember the ingredients that go in it. I'll have to check on it. Let me check my Raspberry Delight here. Y'all, this thing is still not... There is not a toothpick gonna come out clean here. I don't think. Maybe it will. I'm gonna turn the oven off. But it's definitely got to cool. Because I put it in there for 55 minutes, and then I put it back in there for another 10 minutes. But it looks to me like there's too much oil or butter or something in it. But I guess when it cools off, it'll firm up, and it'll be really good, I guess. Y'all will have to do a close-up because I'm not going to chance picking it up, getting it close to the camera. Because I'm liable to burn myself or dump it in the floor. Because that is hot. But I can't wait to try it. I know it's going to be good regardless. Yeah, the cream cheese is soft right now, so it's got to cool off. And that cream cheese will start to harden up a little bit more. The same way with the raspberry preserves and the brownie as well. So it's going to be good. I just wish y'all could try it with me. Oh, you're going to a steampunk themed Halloween party next weekend. I don't usually go to Halloween parties. I mean, I used to go to the little carnivals and stuff when my kids were growing up. And the last Halloween event I went to was at my daughter's house. And that's before she moved to Vista Ranch. She had a house in Watauga, North Richland Hills. And she had a Halloween party up at her house that Halloween. And me and my son and a bunch of us drove up there to go to her house to the party. Because I remember she was dressed like a belly dancer. Her husband was dressed like a knight. Back in King Arthur's day, you know, that type of thing. I didn't even wear a costume, I don't think. I know I didn't. But she had the dry ice sitting on a table in her living room with the Halloween decorations, and it almost looked like a graveyard with the smoke coming out. You know how dry ice is. It like puts out a fog. Joshua said, I never heard of Raspberry Delight before. Well, it's good. You have to get your daddy to cook you some. Your dad or your brother or somebody. Joshua said the blue fairy from Pinocchio. Yeah, I read on a recipe for one of their chocolate cakes. It's like a one-layer cake, but it's chocolate, and it uses very little ingredients. And I said, I've got to try that. Because I said a 1-layer cake is just my speed. You know, I don't need a whole great big cake. But I'm going to try that coming up pretty soon. And I probably will video it if I do it. But this smells good. Oh, and it looks so good. And you know, I didn't even think about it. I should have put my sweet potatoes in the oven. Because this has been going for an hour. I could have baked my sweet potatoes. I broke down and bought me 3 or 4 sweet potatoes when I went to the grocery store the other day to pick up some things. I said, I'm craving baked sweet potato. And sweet potatoes are so good for you, you know. And there's Edith. I was wondering where you were. I just took my Raspberry Delight out of the oven, and it's steaming hot right here beside me. I don't even dare accidentally touch the dish it was baked in because it's scalding hot. How's Edith doing? Yeah, it smells good too, Edith. I'm right here beside it and it smells so good. But you gotta let it cool completely before you can dig into it. Because I guess it's got to have time for that cream cheese to harden up. Otherwise, you're gonna be spooning out mush. I thought about doing one with the cherry pie filling, because that's good too, or blueberry pie filling. But I had the raspberry preserves, and I said, oh my God, the raspberry would be so good. So I had to use some of that in there. Well, good, Edith. You got to see the Starlight Parade. Yeah, I never know who's in all those parades. I just watch them. I watch them for the sound effects, the floats, and all that kind of stuff, the costumes. I never really know who is on what float. But I baked this in my dish that has the lid for it, so I don't have to worry about covering it up to put it away, you know, put it in the refrigerator. You enjoyed Pinocchio? You know, I didn't realize it. I was eating something the other day, and I bit down on something hard, and I thought it was something like in the meat that I was eating. Maybe it was a piece of bone or something. And I got it out of my mouth and looked at it, and I said, well, that don't look like a piece of bone. And I couldn't figure out what it was, but I threw it away. But since then, I've realized it was a filling. I lost a filling out of my back tooth back here. So it looks like I'm going to have to find a dentist to put the filling back in, if they can. My tooth doesn't hurt. I mean, it never did hurt or anything. But I guess over the years, the chewing and everything caused the filling to come loose. And I was chewing it in my food until I bit down on it. I don't want to wait till something goes wrong with the tooth and then them have to pull the tooth out. It's always something. And you know, my dentist is retired. He retired years ago, so I basically have no dentist. I'm going to have to find a dentist to go to. And I need to have my teeth cleaned. I mean, I'm up for a teeth cleaning really bad. Yeah, I kept getting stuff stuck between my tooth back there. I've got a gold tooth, is what I call it, back there, because the tooth is covered with that crown or whatever they call it. And then the one beside it is the one that had the filling. And the filling was on that gold side. And I started getting food stuck down in there. And when I'd get it out, it was like a wad of meat or something. I said, something's not right. There shouldn't be that much food getting down in my tooth. And I got to looking at it real good, and it's because that's what it was. It was that filling that came out of my tooth that I found that day that I was chewing. I thought it was a piece of bone or something. The same thing happened to my son. He said he lost one the other day, and he had to go back to his dentist and get the filling replaced. But I don't know what dentist to go to anymore, you know, because like I said, my dentist retired, and I don't like the dentists that are there now. I know, and I don't have dental insurance, Edith. I've never had dental insurance. I've always had to pay out of pocket. And I have no idea what they're going to charge to put a filling in. I know there's some dentists that send out these cards, free cleaning, you know. And I thought to myself, well, I wish one of them would send out a free cleaning for your teeth card. And I said I could go in and get my teeth cleaned for free and have them put my filling in at the same time, maybe. But I don't have any of those cards. I know you can't trust anybody, Vegan Menu. That's the reason I've been kind of hesitant about going, because I don't know who to go to. And I don't want to go to somebody that's just going to rob me blind. Yeah, I don't need my teeth pulled. Unless they're bothering me, I don't want them pulled. I mean, mine don't look the best in the world, but they're my teeth. And I want to keep them as long as I can. I just don't want to go in and have them yanked out. Because I'm allergic to so much. I always thought that I'd love to have the implants put in. But then I said it'd be my luck I'd be allergic to the metal they used or something. I said I'd end up having to just get regular dentures that go in and out, and then I'd be allergic to that stuff that bonds them to your gums. I just thought of everything that could go wrong, will go wrong with me. And I came across a little video on TikTok the other day, and I felt so bad for that young girl. She went in to get teeth replaced because her teeth were either crooked or they were rotten or something was wrong, and she wanted to look good. She wanted nice teeth. She went in and they did the surgery and put her in the nice teeth, the implants, and something went wrong. She got some kind of a virus or something that started eating away at her nose and all up here. And she was warning people, this is what happened to me because I wanted to look good. I wanted nice looking teeth. And she was warning young women not to go in and get anything done. She said, look, how you look is fine as long as you don't have problems. She said, look what they did to me. And the dentist that she went to, they said, was not going to be held responsible for any of it. So that means any type of correction surgery or any treatment that there is out there that she can get for what happened, she has to pay for out of pocket. Yeah, that's me. I've tried one dentist that I went to and I was not happy with him and I haven't been back. But if any of you end up on TikTok, you might come across that video of that she looked like she was a teenager, maybe in her early 20s, if that old. But her nose and her face all here is just eating away. And she said she didn't know what to do. She tried to go into the dentist and tell him what was going on, and he said he's not responsible for any of it. So she must have signed some kind of waiver when she went in to have her work done. So if anything like that happened, they were not held responsible. And the poor girl, she's at wit's end. She doesn't know what to do. And her nose, her face is being eaten away. She said, I'd do anything if I could have my face back the way it was. She said, I never would have bothered my teeth. I'd have just kept my teeth the way they were. And there's Uncle BB. Hello. Yeah, it sounds like there was some kind of infection that got in there, some kind of virus. Because, anytime you have surgery, especially like with implants put in your mouth, they're putting metal in. You can get any type of infection or viral thing going on. It's very easy. I mean, they have to be really careful. Yeah, I don't know where she went. She didn't say where she was. I don't know what state she lives in or what country she's in. But the poor girl is in a mess, I tell you. You had to get a new credit card. You got hacked again. Oh, my goodness. That's terrible. Yes, I did, Uncle BB. That's what I always use is Country Crock. And some of my viewers get on me. You keep calling that butter, they say. That's not butter. That's margarine. And I tell them I know it's not butter, but to me, when I'm baking, I call it butter because I'm using it like butter. So to me, it's butter. And I call it butter for anybody out there that would normally use butter to use butter. It's a figure of speech, and I know it's not butter. That bowl's still, well, it's not wiggling, and well, it is a little bit, so it's still hot. Still hot. You called it oleo. Yeah, I always use Country Crock because it's soft. I can take it out, put it on toast, and not have to worry about it putting a hole in my toast because the patty of butter is hard as a rock. But I guess I should quit calling it butter when it's not butter. It's margarine. It's imitation butter. Y'all have to look over some of my things that I do in my videos. I'm a creature of habit. Now, sometimes I actually use real butter. I mean, there's been times I actually buy real butter, believe it or not. Yeah, that's the way I am. If it looks like butter, I'm calling it butter. If I use it like butter, it's butter. It might be imitation butter, but it's butter to me. I guess in my videos, when I start putting the country crock in it, like I did this raspberry delight, I'll have to say, and put 2 tablespoons of country crock in there. And not call it butter or margarine, just say 2 tablespoons of country crock. Really confuse people that don't know what country crock is. The lady at the nursing home requested pudding. I don't want pudding, I want Jell-O. Well, there you go, Edith. You're entitled to want what you want. Well, this stuff, it's plenty hot. I can't even keep my hands on the dish. Now on the handles I can. Not long because it's still hot, but it's not going to be cut anytime soon. It's got to cool off for a few hours. And I don't have room in the refrigerator to put it right now. I'm going to have to make room for it. Yeah, I like the fact of that slug burger, as they called it, that it's deep fried. And I didn't actually deep fry it, but I put it in quite a bit of grease that it covered up, on the sides of it. It didn't go over the top, but it's on the sides. And when I flipped it over, it fried it like it was being deep fried. Because I like that crunch on it when you bite into it. It reminds me of the chicken fried steak. You know how crunchy that is? That's the way that slug burger comes out. And there's Frida back. I didn't know she went anywhere. Yeah, I can't remember the lady's name that sent me these hot mats. They're like pot holder hot mats or whatever, because she made them a little bigger. And like I said, I use them all the time. Anytime I have something hot that I need to sit out on the counter or the table, I grab these little mats and put them out. I use them constantly. I always keep them handy. So she doesn't know how much those mats were going to be used when she sent them to me. Oh my goodness, we've been on here for 2 hours, y'all. In the morning, I need to make brownies with walnuts for my brother-in-law birthday. He does so much for me, and all he wants is my brownies and a jar or 2 of my bread and butter pickles. Yeah, I got to get me some more bread and butter pickles. I'm out. I mean, I've got like 2 or 3 in the bottom of the jar, and that's it. I didn't have enough zucchini or cucumbers this year to make pickles. One year I had so many zucchini and so many cucumbers, I was making pickles like crazy. I was making hot, spicy pickles. I was making regular pickles. And I was giving pickles away. I haven't had it like that since, so. And Jeremy's in the house. Hello, Jeremy. Well, thank you, Jeremy. Yeah, I've been taking a break from doing lives. It got to be too much. I was doing sometimes a couple of videos a day, and then I was going live twice a week, sometimes more than that. And it was getting to be too much. So like I told Gladys, she had sent me a message, and I said, I just had to take a break. I mean, I try to do at least one video every day so I can post one every day. Sometimes I'm doing two, believe it or not. And I haven't had dinner yet. I'm probably going to eat my leftover slug burger. You know, I made 2 slug burgers, and then I made the one little like patty with the gravy, and I put it on rice. Guess what? I ate that for my lunch this morning, or middle of the day. Anybody that tries to make that, you need to spice up your gravy a little bit. I ended up mixing a little bit of chicken bouillon in a couple of tablespoons of water, and then I poured it in on that gravy and kind of mixed it up. And it makes a good gravy that way, but it does need a little spicing up. So if you make that slug burger patty and you make the brown gravy, add a little bit of chicken bouillon or beef bouillon to it, to your gravy. Yeah, I only got a couple of cucumbers this year. Not enough to even brag about. Yeah, I got a lot of raking to do because I got tons of leaves in the yard. I need to rake them up and get them in the compost pile. My compost pile just dropped. I mean, I used a lot out of it, out of the bottom of it, but it's dropped tremendously in this heat we've had. So I've got to start putting more leaves and stuff in it right along with the food scraps and stuff. So I'll have that compost for the spring. And I'll probably start putting food scraps and stuff in some of my pots and stuff and getting them ready. You know, prepare them now in the pots and all so it'll break down and do its thing. So those pots will be right ready to plant in the spring, and I won't have to do a lot to them. Uncle BB said, Linda, because of you, I planted my orange mums. Also decorated the front stoop for Halloween. Oh, there you go. I know my kids are not here anymore. They've got their own lives. My granddaughter's in her 20s. And my kids usually don't even come here for Halloween or Thanksgiving or Christmas because I'm usually going to their house because I don't have room for everybody here. And a lot of times they don't even see my decorations unless they see them on my videos. But it makes me get in a good mood, and I feel better when I put stuff out like that. Especially Christmas now. I don't know if I'm going to go all out with everything for Christmas this year. I like to did too much last year. I said, I don't know if I'll ever get all this stuff out. And then when it came time to get it all put back in the shed, I said, I don't know if I'm up to getting it all back in. I did get my shed cleaned out though the other day, so I can walk in the shed now without climbing over everything. But I still got my other shed to clean out a little bit. And I've got lavender mums rooting. I don't know if you saw the video, Uncle BB, where I broke pieces off of the mums that I got in the rock garden, and I stuck them down in different pots. I've got about 7, 8 pots of mums rooting in the backyard in pots that I'm going to try to refill my rock garden with. I had it full of mums one year, but then we had so many droughts after that, and not being able to keep everything watered, and no rain till most of my mums died. So I said, I've got to rejuvenate my rock garden and fill it back up with mums this year. And I did plant another mum in my flower pot along the property line over here. You know, I got some mums in some of them, and I got rose bushes in the other ones, of those big green pots that are all along the property line. Yeah, I'm getting to the place where I'm going to have to start cutting back on some of it, because I'm just not physically able to keep up with all of it anymore. I mean, that was a lot that I put out last year. I had the sleigh, the reindeer, I had my Christmas trees all over the yard, I had all the lights up everywhere. I mean, it's a lot to do. Especially when you're here by yourself and you have to do it all yourself. So I don't know how much I'll get out this year. I'm surprised I put as much out for Halloween as I did, because I intended just to do the end window facing the street, and that was it. And then I ended up coming back from the store one day with 2 pumpkins. So then I come in the house and grabbed some of the Halloween decorations I already had, took them out there, and I made my display with it. But I drew the line. The table and the window at the end of the house was it. I'm not doing any more for Halloween. That's way too much anyway. Yeah, some of my mums will not make it through the winter months, but I found that the lavender ones last and make it through the winter months here a lot better than some of the other ones. Now, planting them in the pots, they survive through the winter and come back, because most of mine did come back this summer from last year. But anytime I've ever planted any color except the lavender in my rock garden, none of them come back the next year except the lavender ones. And there's some little difference between the mum. I don't know what it is. They're more hardy for the drought and the heat for here. So they can tolerate the heat and the dryness a lot more than some of the other mums. But I got all the other colors in the pots out here. We get negative 20 and 30. Yeah, so we don't get quite that cold here. It's just very few times that we get down to even like 10 degrees here. Although there was one winter we got down to 10 and 8 degrees, I think. I think it was the year we had that week-long snowstorm, ice storm. That I had to break out my camping potty because I didn't have water to flush the commode, so I ended up having to. Thank God I had that, you know. I had it packed away with my tent and everything else, and I broke out my camping potty, and I used it that week. And I said, I don't know what some people did that didn't have that, you know, to fall back on. Especially, you know, families of 3 and 4 and 5 people with no water to flush the commodes. I don't know what they did. Tamara said, same here, starting to fear getting on the ladder. Well, don't get me wrong. I'd love to put up even more decorations for Christmas than what I do. It's just that I'm not physically able to do all that. I don't want to do any more than what I have been doing. And like I said, I may not even do quite that much this year. Because, I mean, it's a lot to do to put up and then get it all taken down and get it stored away on top of everything else that I do. And we got Wonder Woman in the house. Hello, Wonder Woman. I didn't decorate for Halloween. Haven't decided if I'm going to decorate for Christmas. I'm just feeling it. Oh, there you go. That's kind of the way I am. If I feel like putting a tree up, I will. If I don't, I won't. I haven't put a Christmas tree up in my house in several years. I've got 2 trees, artificial trees. I've got a white one and I got a green one, a 5-foot tree that I usually put in the house. You know, I alternate from one year to the other. I haven't put those up in the house in several years. All my decorations go outside. There you go. I don't like taking it down and having to put it away. I like putting it up because it gets me in a Christmas spirit, but then I don't like to take it down and put it away. That's the reason I made the trees the way I did that go in the yard. They stay together. The lights stay on them. All I do is unplug them and take them and put them in the shed. If the lights burn out, I add a new string of lights. I don't take those trees apart and store them. They store in my shed just like you see them in the yard. Well, thank you, Wonder Woman. Joshua said, I'm back, Linda. I just ate chicken, mashed potatoes, and corn. My brother made it. Yeah, I got to fix me some dinner. I haven't eaten yet. We've been on here for over 2 hours. I guess we should end the video, the live, and let people get back to their Sunday evening routine. Yeah, chicken and mashed potatoes and corn. That sounds good to me. All I got cooked is my slug burger. I can heat it up in the microwave. That's one reason I didn't put lettuce on it, because I knew I couldn't eat both of them. I ate one yesterday when I did the video. And then I ate one of them with the gravy on the rice. That was my lunch today. And I said, well, I can heat up the last slug burger. That'll be my dinner tonight. Yeah, it's been a joy, Tamara. I'm so glad everybody came into the live this evening that could make it. I enjoy, like I said, I enjoy going live because I enjoy chatting with everybody. It puts me in a good mood, good spirit to chat with me. You know, all my subscribers and friends that come into my lives. So, like I said, y'all have a blessed night. Oh, I'm stiff. Y'all have a blessed night. Have a safe day tomorrow. Enjoyable day tomorrow. Sleep tight tonight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. I'll see you next time. Love y'all. Bye.